Instagram followers. That is what we are talking about on this week's topic of beautiestalkingbusiness.com with your host, Andrea Pettingill at Shine with Drea and Jenny Hansen at Jenny A. Hansen. We have a special guest for you today, Sarah Drury at sarahdrurylocallooks.com. She has a beautiful website, an up-and-coming YouTuber, and has an amazing Instagram following. Make sure you go grab her freebie from her site as well. Let's get started.
Instagram followers, how do you get more in the beauty industry professional? Well, Andrea and I are here today with a very special guest. Sarah, she is here. She's a beauty, up and coming, I think, beauty blogger. You just started a YouTube channel, and it's going really well. I totally binge watched all your tutorials the other day, and a great following on social media and Instagram. So Dre and I thought we would have her on and have her chat and give us her 5 tips on building your social media presence. And I will let her introduce herself. But before we do that, Andrea, why don't you tell us a little bit about yourself and Beauty's Talking Business?
Sure. Hi, I'm Andrea Pettingill, and I am the creator of ShineWithDrea.com. Been in the beauty industry for 10 plus years, and just joined forces with Jenny here in creating Beauty's Talking Business. And what, Jenny?
Between the 3 of us, we have over 30 years experience.
Oh, yeah, that's right.
That's amazing. Sorry. Okay.
I was like, emergency, no. Emergency experience, yay! So yeah, we're just so excited just to come together as a space here with Beauty's Talking Business to empower the professional, help them to grow and be supported and have motivation and excitement in this wonderful industry that just creates new outlook on inner self-esteem, like loving who you are and being confident enough to shine and really put yourself out there. And yeah, I'm excited to talk to Sarah today and get to know her better too. So should we jump over and talk to Sarah?
Yes. So, hello, everybody. Thank you guys so much for having me today. I'm honored. So I'm Sarah Drury, and I have been in the beauty industry as well for, I guess it's going on 9 years now. So yeah, and I've been in the salon. I've been a cosmetologist, but then I've also been kind of doing my own thing as well, with trying to, kind of like you're saying, use this industry to help empower women and make them feel more beautiful and more confident and in their lives and careers as well. So yeah, and I'm so happy to be here.
Sarah, where can our viewers find you and your info and your free gift? All of it.
Oh, yes. So actually it's all on my website, which is sarahdrurylocallooks.com. So you can just go there. And actually one of my favorite things about my website, because since we're getting into the Instagram stuff, is on my front page of my website is my Instagram feed. So that's like my favorite thing about it. I love Instagram. And so yeah, on my website at the very top, you can actually type in your name and email and get a free video on how to fix 10 top makeup mistakes so that I see in people all the time.
Love
so, the mistakes and how to fix them. So
I love it. I jumped over to your what was that, Jenny?
Her site is.
Oh, I love it.
I know, that was what I was gonna say, is I jumped over to her website, is checking it out, and it just reads so beautifully. I think I just love the flow and the beautiful images and stuff that you have on there. And I think that's something that is just like such a draw to just like, it's beautiful as this beautiful magazine package of an Instagram that's on your website too. And is that something that you would say like really draws your followers in?
Yeah, I mean, I definitely think, in my little 5 tips here, I definitely have one of them as being, it kind of is it's your work and you want it to look beautiful and you want it to look good all together, and kind of like, as you said, and in a flow of being this cohesive thing that looks beautiful together. So yeah, absolutely.
And me, as like the tech person, I'm like, did you design it yourself? Did you use WordPress.org? So what did you do? Like, I want to know all that.
Sure, I'll tell you anything you want to know. No, I did not design it myself. I definitely had a vision for it. And then I worked with a web designer to help bring that vision to life. But yeah, no, I'm not really very techy at all. Luckily, my husband is really good at all that. And then, but I hired someone to do my website, but it is on WordPress. So.
Yeah, that's very nice. I know our Beauty's Talking business is on WordPress, but I just do it myself. So I'm like, one day.
See, I think that's so impressive, though, that you can do it yourself. I would have not known where to start. So I knew what I wanted it to look like. Like I said, I kind of have that overall vision, but then I was like, but I don't have any idea how to like bring it together. So
yeah, exactly. I get the bones in, but that's pretty much it. But anyway, yeah, what were you gonna say, Andrea?
So I just had a few questions just so our viewers can get to know Sarah a little bit better. You've worked in the salon, you've done lots of different things. What kind of work are you doing on a day-to-day basis right now? Because it seems like you work hand in hand with some photography work, and tell us about that. Like, tell us about what makes up your day and what is it that you are doing right now?
Well, I would say right now I'm kind of in like a transition phase in my life. So like I said, I've been in the salon for 9 years and I've been behind the chair, but then also on the side from that, I have done a lot of work with photographers and especially a lot of weddings. So that's kind of how I ended up working with several photographers, was through weddings and that kind of thing. But my real passion in life, like we were talking about, is to help just the everyday gal feel confident and beautiful. So one of the things that I started offering was like one-on-one makeup lessons. And so I do all of those things. I work in the salon. I work on the weekends doing weddings. I do different photo shoots for all kinds of things, any kind of photo shoot. So like an engagement session or boudoir, some of like my favorites, and anything like that. But then also, my passion to help women feel beautiful is like, I can do your makeup for you, and yes, that will make you feel beautiful, but then to empower someone to do it themselves and be able to recreate that on their own anytime they want, I feel like is an even greater gift. So that's kind of the project that I am working on now, is figuring out how to scale that and make it, and kind of take what I do one-on-one, take it online. And that way I can open up my audience and hopefully help more women. So I do all of those things right now. But I think why I call it a transition is I sort of see myself in the salon for about 5 more years. And then I would love to have most of my business be online. So.
Yes. Yeah. Oh, I love it. No, that's so beautiful. And it looks like you're doing it all just right.
That is so nice to hear. Thank you. Some days, you feel like you're like, yes, I got this. And then other days you're like, no, it's never there. So.
And it's okay. There's a roller cycle, an ebb and flow, and you can't fight the ebb.
Yes, exactly. I think, one thing I try to work on daily is just to be okay with where I'm at. Just to be happy in this moment and this, and it's it's always evolving. So yeah.
What was that episode where we like talked about this whole thing? I don't remember which
one it was.
Yeah,
I don't know.
We'll
have to go back and check.
Yeah, you have to link it for me, so I'd love to hear it.
Okay, And then we'll put also all your information in the description box so that everyone can find you, and on the blog post in our replay section on the beautytalkingbusiness.com. But yeah, why don't we get into your social media tips, because you have an amazing following, Instagram following, and I'm just like, how long did it take you to build that up? Did you do it organically? Was it paid? Like, I could go on and on and on. You know, like, do you post every day? Like, what are just some of you go into your social media tips for the beauty professional that's really wanting to branch out their brand and their work and just get their work and their art out there?
Yeah. Well, first of all, you kind of called me like a beauty blogger. And it's funny because I don't have a blog. I really don't have a blog. But I use Instagram as my micro blog, as they say. So, yeah. So I think I've just always been drawn to Instagram because, like we were kind of talking before, Andrea was saying it's so visual. And I think as artists, we are all very visual people. So I've just always been drawn to that. And it also felt super overwhelming for me to like create a whole blog and post every day. I don't know, that just felt overwhelming. And I was kind of like, well, I'm already on Instagram pretty much every day. I'll just make that my little micro blog. So I have spent a lot of time investing a lot of time in that. And I would say, I'm trying to think of like when I really started pushing to try to build it, but I would say it's probably been about a year and a half that I've been like really wanting to get out there and bring more followers in versus just posting and being like, whatever. So I kind of wrote down like my 5 top tips of how I've kind of built that. So the first one,
let's hear it.
so the first one, I have all my notes here in case you were like, why is she looking down? The first one is to think about like what value you want to provide people with. And that could be anything from tips and advice to just like inspiration and entertainment. You know, it doesn't necessarily have to be one or the other. It can even be all of them. And I kind of try to go between all of them. I try to offer some tips and advice, and then also just post something pretty or inspirational along with my work as well. But yeah, so just thinking about what kind of value can you provide? And I think it was Hillary Rushford, who teaches an Instagram class that I took that is amazing. Says, what's that?
You'll have to send us that link or her info.
I will. Yeah, so I think she said, you know, really your Instagram is not about you. And that was kind of a game-changing thing for me. I was like, oh, it's not, I'm not just post, you know, because at the time I think I really was just using it for me, just my personal life, and maybe throw a picture of work up or whatever. But then when you start thinking about it as like a business account and trying to bring followers in, you have to think about, well, it's not really about me. It's about providing a value and being an account that someone would want to follow. So
that is so huge. And like, that's something that your followers can pick up on. Like if they're scrolling through it, they're like, oh, like that's just her life. Whereas if they were to look at it and be like, oh, I love this part. I love this part that resonates with me, or that like reminds me of this in my life. And they can feel that it's about them. Like they can really feel and connect to that. Like it's the emotions that like help people to like opt in or follow or all of that.
Right. And so I think trying to make that connection and saying, you know, it is a little bit about you because you definitely want to infuse your personality and yourself in it, but why do they care? Why would someone care? Why do they want to follow you? Give them a reason. So that's
a good, so tip number 1, make sure that you're constantly providing value and not making it about you, but you're making it about your audience and your customer. That's great.
Exactly. And then the second tip we've kind of already touched on, but is just thinking about how, especially on Instagram, how your feed looks as a whole, not just like you post a picture and
Like
then
curating it. I've
So
heard
I love this because, yeah, curating it. Jenny.
exactly, because it is kind of your little corner of the internet that's like your little magazine that you are curating, you know, and especially if you are thinking about it kind of as a micro blog, you want it to be cohesive. You want it to look all good together. And I mean, I constantly will go back through my feed and be like, that picture doesn't fit. I thought it did at the time, but it didn't. So now it's going away. I'm gonna delete it.
And if it has
So
likes or comments, if it's not really like working with the vibe, you'll still delete it.
Yeah.
That's good advice, because that might be kind of hard or scary, but it's so true. If it's not working, get rid of, you know what I mean?
yeah.
Right.
So Sarah, I noticed when I was looking through your Instagram that you kind of have a checkerboard theme that works sometimes, and sometimes you do different things, but is that something you're intentionally trying to do as you scroll through?
Yes. I mean, like I said, I have been very intentional about building my Instagram following and my Instagram for a year and a half now. So I've tried several different things, and this is kind of something that I really feel like works for what I'm trying to do. One of the things that I love to do is like find these beautiful quotes and put them up, kind of like what I was talking about tips and inspiration and different things like that. They will, you know, I'll find a quote that just like really speaks to me, and then I want to share it. And so I will just like screenshot different things, and I had like so many different quotes, and I thought, why not incorporate this and share this when it means something to me? Maybe it will help someone else as well. Someone else just feel good, you know, better about themselves or good or whatever. So yeah. And then again, like I was thinking about how is this all gonna go well together, and that's kind of just what I came up with. So yeah,
I love it. It's beautiful. I love it.
Sometimes you're scrolling through and you're like, this definitely works. This set of photos looks so good together. And then you scroll a little further and you're like, that doesn't work as well. So it's just constantly thinking about it and again, like curating it and seeing what works.
Picking out the weeds and like making sure it stays beautiful.
Exactly.
Like, I know, like, see, this is hard for me because I love like black and white, pink and metallics. Like those are like my favorite colors, and so I'm constantly kind of trying to play. And I don't know, it'll get there. And then
and those all go together. So yeah, it's just playing and seeing how it all works. Yeah, for sure.
Do you have any like tips with like the whole hashtag rule and this? Because I've heard this, you know, with Instagram to use 30 hashtags.
Yeah.
Put it in the comment, like as the first comment, and I'm like wondering, I don't know, is that like a real?
Yeah, I mean, I definitely think hashtags make people able to find you better. I don't think it's foolproof for sure, but you know, the other thing about hashtags is thinking about what your audience is hashtagging. So for a long time, I think even do it now every now and again, just so people will know, but I'll hashtag like hair and makeup or makeup artist or whatever. But most of the time, your audience isn't necessarily looking through the hashtag makeup artist. So it's thinking about that too, like what are the people that you're trying to attract, what are they hashtagging, and what would they be looking for? What would they be searching through a hashtag for? So thinking about some of those things.
Okay.
So yeah, I definitely think hashtags are good. And I have a set of hashtags that I kind of keep in my notes section of my phone that I will like, I do put them in the first comment, but then I'll add maybe a couple in my original comment as well, something that goes well with what I posted. So
tip number 2 is to curate your feed so it looks like beautiful, like your own little magazine, your own little blog, and then we kind of threw in a little like throw in some hashtags.
Hashtags. Yeah, definitely hashtags. Why not?
Okay.
We're pulling out extra tips from you, Sarah.
Go for it.
They
I'm
weren't,
looking
they weren't numbered on your.
I love it. Okay, so the third one I just kind of touched on with that a little bit, but it's thinking about who you're trying to attract. So like the first one is what you're trying to provide, but this one is who do you want to attract? So same thing with the hashtag thing, but just in general and what you're posting, you know, oh, sorry, my dogs are barking now. Great. But that may determine what you post. Are you trying to reach other people in your industry, or are you trying to attract more clients who maybe aren't in your industry? So that may, like I said, determine what you're posting. And
That's a huge one. That's a huge one. Marie Forleo will say this all the time. Like, don't you talk, or no, it was actually, no, it was Laura Roeder who would say this. And she's the one who designed and developed Egger and the app Egger. But before that, she used to teach in Marie Forleo's B-School program, and she's more techie. And she would say, like, don't use professional language to your clients. You know, if you're talking to your clients, then don't talk to them like they're professionals. And I always thought that stuck with me. I always thought that was really good.
Yeah, I mean, I think it's so true because they don't know that lingo. They don't care about that lingo. It doesn't resonate. Yeah. Yeah. Unless you are trying to attract other professionals, depending on, what you're doing in the industry, you may be trying to.
Yeah. So that's so good. So tip number 3 is the who. Who are you trying to attract, and make sure that you are speaking their language and that you are addressing them. Dre, did you want to say something? I can see your eyes.
I love it. No, I love it. That's what I was going to say. It's like you're speaking a different language to them. So that's perfect, because then they won't keep following if you're not making sense to them and what they're looking for.
Right. Okay. So tip number 4, I love that you have a list, because we do topics. And so this is so perfect with our show.
I have to have a list. I just
have no idea. You have no idea. We might have to have you come back and just hop on every once in a while. If
anytime. So tip number 4 is to be consistent. So don't just post one day and drop off for a week. Yeah, are you guilty of that? We're all guilty of that, to be honest. But I don't think you have to post 20 times a day, but I do think if you are trying to build a following, you are also trying to kind of stay top of mind with people too. Yeah. And I think people, with how crazy fast everything in social media goes, you can kind of get forgotten about easily. So I think being consistent and posting at least once a day, I think, is a good goal to shoot for. If you don't post one day, it's not the end of the world or anything like that. But I definitely think being consistent will help with growth as well.
I love this because it helps to think about how you think of other people's accounts, right? So if I was following someone who is a hairstylist and I haven't seen them in a while, but they popped into my head, I would probably think, I wonder if they still even do hair.
Yes.
So you think, I wonder if they even still do it. I'm too embarrassed to reach out to them because what if they stop doing it? And so if you have this impression that your business is closed, you want the doors always to be open, that open sign. You don't walk into somewhere and you don't want to be embarrassed that the door is locked, right? So it's
yeah.
Open for business.
Exactly. And I think, again, it's like you're saying, it just keeps the lines of communication open. And I think people want to see that you're busy and that you're doing stuff and you're not just slanging stuff.
It's not just a hobby, it's my real work and passion.
Yes.
I want to communicate that.
Right. Exactly.
Authority in your business too.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
Because you're the one posting, you're the one actively doing it, and the other 95% aren't.
Right. Exactly. Which that actually leads perfectly into my last one. Which is to be you and be authentic. And in my little notes here that I wrote down, it's totally screwing up a Seth Godin quote, but basically, basically he has this quote that's something like, no one has ever seen the world through your eyes before. And he says to show people your truth. And I just think that that's so important, because that's going to be what sets you apart too, and makes you different, and makes people want to follow you when they're seeing that you are being authentic. It's something people can connect to.
I love that.
That's awesome.
That is so good. That resonates so deep too with like, I think like Usher said something too. I don't know, something about how there are no new ideas, but only your perception or something. And it was just like, whoa. And it almost gives you this permission to teach and this permission to share. And Dre and I, that's funny because we were texting about that last night, how that sometimes you can learn something, the same thing said the same way from like 5 different people, but then just one person, it resonates and you're like,
oh, and you hear the message.
Yeah, exactly. And I think Marie Forleo has, no one has that special gift that you have. Like, it's the same thing. And it's so true, because you're the only you in all of time. So
oh, so good. And have you done her B School program?
Yes.
Yeah. So awesome.
I didn't know you were a B schooler.
Yeah. Love me some Marie Forleo.
So see, Drea, I'm like, Drea, you've got to get into B school, because the community, it's like this secret sisterhood. It's like,
and that's so awesome.
It is pretty great, I have to say. Yeah. I took it last year. Like not 2016, but 2015.
Yeah.
And that was kind of the whole start of where I decided to take everything. So yeah. And kind of what you were saying, like, it gives you the permission. And that's what I feel like Marie Forleo B School did for me, was give me the permission and let me take ownership of things. So
and just being authentic and what you want to do. So tip number 5 is to be totally authentic.
Yeah.
I have a question. Do you like ask like, hey, follow, or do you do giveaways? Do you have any kind of tips for gaining more follows? Do you follow back, like, or do you not? You know what I mean? Like, just kind of like some kind of secret marketing tricks when it comes to Instagram, or is it just about the content?
No, I definitely think it's both. I think the other thing is, I think you want to be posting things that people care about and that they would maybe potentially share. But I definitely think it's almost like a marketing event or something. You have to let people know you're there as well. So there's all kinds of different strategies on how to do it. And one of them is to follow and then unfollow, or some of these things. And I don't do that stuff. Some of that is, whatever you do you, but that's just not for me. But just like, you would walk into a party and be like, hey, I'm Sarah and this is what I do. Like, talking to people and connecting with people and
oh, sorry.
No, you're not.
I was going to say, I noticed too that you collaborate a lot. And I think that's awesome, because you find people that are the same type of audience, and then you like bring them together. Can you tell us a little bit about different ways that you do that? Because I've seen you repost people's stuff before and like take over your Snapchat kind of thing. That's so cool.
Oh my gosh. Don't you love Snapchat so much? Yeah. She mentioned giveaways earlier, and I'm definitely a fan of giveaways. I think, yes, it's a great way to build your following, and people, would be interested in, they're always interested in getting something. I know I am. So I think that's a great way. But then, it's even more powerful if you can partner with other people who are in a similar mindset and mission as you. And that way, you know, it's the whole thing. Two heads are better than one. So absolutely, I think that's something that's so cool about Instagram too, is just connecting with people and finding new friends. And, you know, I mean, I guess it was Snapchat where I met you, Jenny, but social media in general is just great for that. It's just great for finding new people and finding new friends. And so, you know, I think my latest Instagram post is about rising tides lift all boats. And it's just so true. And especially with women, I think we've kind of been taught a long time that we're in competition with each other. And I think one of my goals in life is to show women that is not true. I'm not in competition.
I'm right there with you. That is like such a huge goal of mine.
We found another soul sister. I think we just found another soul sister.
Yeah, exactly.
So I definitely think partnering with people and doing even like the loop giveaways are kind of fun. I don't think you want to go crazy on getting like tons of people in those. I don't know if you've heard of loop giveaways, right? Where
I haven't.
So it would be kind of like what we're talking about, where you would partner with several people and give something away maybe. But I would say to keep those smaller. So let's say you did 4 people and the 4 of us got together and we were going to give something away. So then the strategy would be to say, in this giveaway, the way to enter is to follow each person in this loop. And then once you've followed all of us, after however many days, we'll pick a winner. And as long as you're following all of these people in the loop, then you can possibly win or whatever. So
Fun.
Yeah, so that's kind of a fun one too.
That would be fun. Well, we also know that you are getting ready to launch a digital, is it a class or a course? Like you're getting ready to launch your first digital program. And so why don't you tell us a little bit about that so people can be ready for it?
Yeah, well, actually, I've already launched one. So yes, that was so exciting. It's closed now, but so I am, like I said, extremely passionate about helping women to feel confident. And part of that for me has been feeling confident in my skin. And part of that is makeup. I don't think it's the whole thing. And I definitely still feel confident when I'm not wearing makeup, but I just think it's kind of one of those extra added ways to take care of yourself.
Yeah.
So, but anyway, so that to me starts with skincare. So the first course that I've launched is all about how to take care of your skin. So I walk through every piece of that, including product recommendations and all that kind of thing. So that one is out, but it is not running right now, partly because I am working on the second part of that, which will be kind of the ultimate guide to makeup. So I'm sort of calling it, I don't know, it's a working title, but the ultimate guide to doing your makeup like a pro, even if you're not. So, but yeah, and I'm really excited about that one. I just decided I'm going to launch it in October. So,
yeah, that's awesome.
Not scheduled, it's not real. It's scheduled.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, Sarah, thank you so much for coming.
No, thank you all. Thank you for having me.
Absolutely. Anytime. You are welcome here anytime. Like we said, we just really want to help the beauty industry, beauty professionals, and even, I guess, just even like clients and customers too can even watch and know what real professionals look like and what to expect to. I think it's just helpful.
Yeah.
But I love it. We're so excited. So why don't you tell us really quick again where we can find you on social media and your website?
Yeah, so I am at SarahDruryLocalLooks.com is my website. Instagram is the same, Sarah Drury Local Looks. Snapchat, I went and changed it up. Why? I don't know. It's actually a terrible idea, but it is Sarah Drury 13.
Yeah,
So.
I had to learn that too. Like, I took B school in 2011.
Uh-huh.
And so it was like, just stick to your name. And I am Jenny Hansen. You can find me all over online at Jenny A. Hansen, also at jennyahansen.com. And of course, the show website, Beauty's Talking Business. And we want to invite you to join our Facebook group. Go over there and comment and let us know one of your favorite tips that you learned from Sarah today. Andrea, why don't you take it away and sign us off?
All right. I just loved it. I loved all those tips. It was amazing. I'm excited to do some new stuff on my Instagram.
Yay.
Yes, come find us at Beauty's Talking Business. Let's talk about this episode. And you can find me at Shine with Drea everywhere on social media. DREA, Shine with Drea. And love it. Love you guys. This was a great episode. Thank you for watching, and go and shine today. Love you guys.
Bye.
Thank you so much for watching. Make sure you go to Sarah's website, check it out, watch her tutorials, get her freebies, and join Andrea and Jenny, on social media and for next week's show. But please, if you have not already, head over to our Facebook page and hit that join button on Beauty's Talking Business. Let us know in the comments what was your favorite topic and takeaway. We'll see you next week on Beauty's Talking Business. And if you haven't already, make sure you like and subscribe and catch all our replays over on the site. Lots of love. Bye.